Well, there you go. We're still here at the International Trade Fair in Ndola. And obviously, to those who are coming in, we are enjoying the fact that a lot of people are taking time to visit various stands. And well, just earlier, we were having a conversation with senior economist and statistics from the Bank of Zambia. Well, we get to continue on that conversation. Bank of Zambia is still here. Now, I understand that a lot of people out there would want to know what Bank of Zambia is all about. Well, if you speak on the international flow monitoring aspect of things, well, we'll definitely get to understand what that is all about, because Mr. Felipe mentioned to say, well, we get to monitor certain things that are happening on the international space and so on and so forth. And well, they've actually given us someone who's going to help us understand a whole little bit more on that one. In particular, export proceeds tracking framework is what we're going to discuss on this particular platform. Now, to help us understand a whole little bit more of that, we do have Mwika Mwenechan. Your department here first speaks to the international flow monitoring. Yes. I want us to pick some words from the theme, this year's theme, all right, that is enhancing business resilience through innovation and trade. If we were to pick a word such as innovation, and I want us to speak to the export with that which you do at Bank of Zambia.
So if innovation is actually the best word that you could pick, because the export process tracking framework itself is an innovative solution. Mm-hmm. So it's a solution, it's a framework that involves interfacing various reporting systems, mm-hmm. and it basically has allowed us to leverage on technology that's available now to get the data that we require. Awesome.
Now, if we were to say getting the data that we require, how does this work with other institutions out there? All right. If we say this is a word that we can pick and this is the way to go for your department, speak to how you've managed to do business with other entity advancements of the world. We are slowly adapting to such kind of trends.
Yes, so we do work, most of our work involves a multi-agency approach. Mm-hmm. So the export process tracking framework itself involves work with the Zambia Revenue Authority, because we get the trade data from themselves. So we've interfaced their customs management system, their Scooter World system, with our system, which is framework, are the exporters themselves, the business players, and the commercial banks. Mm-hmm. So we rely on these partnerships and collaborative efforts to enhance business resilience.
Mm. All right. Now, enhancing business resilience and obviously working with these partners, how do we monitor, all right, at countries as well? And obviously there's a lot of money that is paid on the other side, or locally and on the other side. I want you to make us understand, how does the Bank of Zambia come in and make sure that we get to have an understanding process?
Yes, maybe I can just also give a little bit of a background to the export, from the fact that we wanted to strengthen our balance of payment statistics to make them more accurate and just more comprehensive in nature. So Zambia being an open economy, we've had a history of not having sufficient information to compile balance of payments, despite several efforts. So we do carry out surveys, we do get, we have administrative bank returns that we get, and would use these to compile our statistics. But now that we have the technology that we have now enables us to interface with the Zambia Revenue Authority. So what we have now under the framework is the electronic balance of payment system, is where we record all our trade data, all our financial data, so they're going to, or if it's money coming in, the direction of trade is also vital information that we get. So we rely on the commercial banks to provide us with this information from their clients. So it's a partnership. And then Zambia Revenue Authority is able to just send us these customs documents, which also allow us to see what exports are being made and what the value of these exports is, and then we can operationalize our framework. Once we know the value of the exports, we can then match what's coming through from the customs management to the bank export-related banking leg.
Let's also speak to the reconciling of export proceeds transaction. What exactly does that mean?
So when you exports. Once an exporter releases their form, we get that information. Now, what we want to do is what needs to feature on the banking return. So when the payment for that export is received in the bank, they will quote that number. So that process is the reconciling. Now, this started firstly with goods. We've now moved to services as well. So for services, we use Smart Invoice, which is an invoicing tool that ZRA launched last year, and that allows us to capture services as well. Because for goods, they're a little bit easier because you have the customs, and it's an actual, essentially that's what allows us to reconcile.
Awesome. Now, in all spheres of doing business, obviously, especially where trade is involved,
we're not asking them to do anything manual. We're just riding on the fact that they provide this information to ZRA, and then we take it up from there and ensure that we link it with what we're seeing in the banking system.